We got a ton of new Horizon Forbidden West details about how far along Guerrilla Games is in development, how the workbench works, which sounds very interesting, like upgrading our gear sounds pretty deep, more combat info, how we as Aloy start the game, and way more. So of course a like on the video would really help me out. And let's go. As you might know, I'm doing a giveaway for Horizon Forbidden West, and the winner will be announced around release. So you can enter via the link in the pinned comment, and these giveaways are always for subscribers of the channel. So good luck. Guerrilla is now in the final stages of development. Matthijs de Jonge, the game director, notes that to Hardware Zone that they're now polishing the game and fixing bugs. They're working on the final machines, the final cinematic. So we're really ramping up. There's still a lot to do with a game of this size and magnitude, but we're in the final stages. And likely when they got a better idea of how much time it's still going to take, we will hear a release date for either this year or early next year. I can see it go either way, but I'm now more camp early next year. Like, there's really no need to rush if it means that they can deliver a better game in February than in November. I think they will choose February. In my first gameplay breakdown, we touched on the Nora Elite Hunter bow we see Aloy use in the state of play, and you briefly see it highlighted, of course, in the weapon wheel. My theory is still that we start out with this bow and then slowly gather more weapons. And what we now learned in an interview with Games Radar is that everyone that starts Aloy's journey in the Forbidden West is going to start from the same place, at Macaw, regardless of which allies stood by your side in the final Zero Dawn fight. I think it overall makes sense because of course the post-credit scenes were all the same for everyone. The idea of course was that if you did certain missions before the final main mission, more allies would join you in the final battle. Well, that progress is not carrying over. But we will totally see characters return from Zero Dawn. This is what Ben, the narrative director on the Forbidden West, notes in a Game Informer interview. We of course already saw Silence in the reveal trailer, and now Erend in the gameplay with a focus this time too. And Ben notes that Erend should fulfill a very specific role in the story, and that they absolutely needed ties to Aloy's past to make sure that she's the same person and comes alive in the same way. And Erend is, by the way, also getting his own comic. Volume 1 is hitting on July 14th, where he does have his hammer, as we see on the page here. Would be awesome if Aloy can get that as a weapon too. And Talana, as you might know, already had her own comic, which is available right now, and I'm sure she will play a big role in the Forbidden West as well. We already saw her in the awesome art from around the reveal. She's of course the Sun Hawk now of the Hunter's Lodge. And I think we see a new character here too, also on the back of a Claw Strider. And yeah, looking at it again, I totally think we can ride these Bristol back boar-like machines in the Forbidden West too. Seems perfect. And what they overall want in the Forbidden West is that we spend more time with other characters. We really wanted to grow that emotional attachment that players have with these characters. That's been a major focus on development for us, on both the story side and the quest design side. We of course already had a character-focused side storyline with Nil in the main game regarding the bandit camps, and in the Frozen Wilds DLC during the Water Lodge mission we met Gildan, and we're by his side the whole time working together to get the water level down. Another perfect example is Ikri. You battle alongside her, and then later she has her own challenge at the hunting grounds. So way more of that in the Forbidden West, with likely longer storylines and multiple missions, if I had to bet. And speaking of battle, let's go more in depth on the armor piece system for the enemies. Of course the machines already have the parts, which would be highlighted by using the focus. But you were always kind of slowed down in the original, you were zooming in. Now in the Forbidden West we can use that focus scan that we also see Aloy do to reveal the climbable things in the environment, to reveal parts of a machine. So that should be way more convenient. For melee there's a new move called Resonance Blast, which we actually see charged up after Aloy does the silent strike on the human enemy. Then you see like the purple ring appear. If you then do a combo on the next enemy, you will reveal their gear parts. At the end of the combo, Aloy of course follows up with this arrow, which does a lot of extra damage, like this a skill with the slow motion as part of the new skill tree. And if you actually break these highlighted gear pieces from the enemy, you get tactical XP that you also get when shooting weak points or when shooting a headshot, which, as we discussed in my previous video, goes towards the purple bar for the Valor search. And yeah, there are also more Valor searches you can unlock through the skill tree. And explosives seem like a great way to remove gear from enemies. When Aloy namely uses the new spike thrower, the enemy flies almost naked from the tremor tusk. I totally missed this the first time around, but it's pretty crazy. And overall, the human enemies should be a bit more aggressive compared to the previous game. And we already kind of saw that in the demo, like way more tactic is required to take them out. And we also learned more about the orange bar, which of course has to do with the special weapon abilities. We also have weapon techniques, which add more depth to the combat. So every weapon class in the game, like slingshots or bows for example, they all have one or more special weapon technique. And we already saw a lot of different weapon techniques in the weapon wheel that I also went over in that gameplay breakdown video. And now we learned that there are like even more per specific weapon, which sounds awesome. And of course, the one weapon technique they showed in action was that from the sharpshot bow, taking out the tremor tusk. And this is, by the way, a weapon technique we can unlock through the skill tree, and we should be able to cycle through these weapon techniques and switch to different ones that we prefer. And overall, the skill tree sounds really impactful. Like, a lot of meaningful upgrades seem to be in this new menu. Like, it won't look anything like what we saw in Zero Dawn. But I'm curious if we still get skill points after leveling up, or if there like are more ways to earn skill points. Kinda sounds that way, because there are like so many skills to unlock, it seems like. But I think the most interesting part of the new info is that we get a whole new upgrade system. In Horizon Zero Dawn, the only way to improve our weapons was through mods. That still seem to be in the game, but there's now way more going on. There's a wider variety of weapons, which can all be upgraded over multiple steps by acquiring resources from nature or from machines. It makes you bond a bit more with the weapons, but it also levels them up and unlocks new abilities. So that sounds awesome. If you like a particular weapon, you can upgrade it to improve it and get a new weapon technique as well. And again, I wouldn't be surprised if the sort of icons we see here are indicating the upgrade level of a particular weapon. And upgrading gear all happens at the workbench. It's something we should be able to find in a settlement. And the idea is that you go out and basically acquire resources from nature like animals or plants or from the machines and then bring them back to the workbench in order to upgrade your weapons and outfits as well, by the way. So there will be upgrade paths for outfits too, although I still think it will be a single piece like we saw in the original, but we don't know that yet. Overall, this system sounds really like a way more in-depth version of the job system from the original. And maybe you remember this, where you could make a mission for a weapon you wanted to buy in the shop. So then the game would direct you to those machines on the map, so you know, okay, I have to go there, kill the machine, gather the resource in order to get the weapon. I love what I'm hearing, that they're going more in-depth on gear and weapon customization. I'll of course be keeping an eye out for way more Forbidden West details, so subscribe to miss nothing regarding Horizon Forbidden West. A like on the video would really help me out, and totally check out my previous video on the fact that flying mounts could be in the game. You can watch that video by clicking on the screen. For now, I will speak to you next time, and goodbye.